duly signed by the parties, this agreement will serve to modify. Okay, so this is an addendum actually. The recording agreement as herein provided. All terms used for okay, let's just try to get to some of the meat and potatoes. JPE, right? Which is James Prince Entertainment. They will be made party to this agreement. Okay, so it looked like he signed a deal with MobTies and then James Prince Entertainment, which we don't know if that's the father or still the son. The son owns MobTies, so it looked like they're bringing in a third entity, but the third entity is connected to the second entity. So JPE is going to be made a party to the agreement, and the preamble shall be deleted and replaced as follows. The following letter, when executed by all parties, will confirm mutually exclusive between the company and J Prince. Okay. Oh, wow. Notwithstanding anything contrary contained in the paragraph 4A, blah, blah, condition upon artist's full and faithful performance of all terms, the company's receipt from the distributor, net advances will require to be recorded by artists, payable to this. Okay, all right, let me try to, I'm going to make some sense of this real quick for y'all, because this could be convoluted. And let me put y'all a little bit on game when it comes to the music industry. So, when Lil Uzi Vert gets an advance, like Lil Uzi Vert at this point probably gets, I don't know, they probably give him like $10 million. I don't know, well, probably between 5 and 10 for him to turn in an album. The way how it goes, they don't send it to Lil Uzi Vert. Or maybe they do, but when you sign to MMG, Generation Now, QC, the advance goes to the label that has the direct contract with the bigger label. Okay? And this is what a production company is. So basically, they're hoping that eventually they'll get an advance, let's say $10 million. So $10 million comes in. 3.5 is going to go to the artist. Okay? Now, usually, the production company is going to collect all monies, and then they distribute it. So they're going to have some administrative people. 35% also goes to the company. So 3.5 million would go to, the books of MobTies Entertainment. And it's kind of interesting because they now add something called J Prince Entertainment, which I thought James Prince Jr. owns MobTies. So basically, it's kind of like double dipping. So if I'm to combine company and JPE, because even if it's the father and the son, or maybe it's the son, and here's the thing, this might be a nasty finesse here. If the son is acting like he's the manager. Because sometimes you'll have the manager involved in the mix as well. So if you're the manager of the guy, but he's signed to your record label, you're double dipping. Like, for example, it's a conflict of interest. I'm not going to get in their business, but I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm going to tell you why. Blueface is signed to Whack 100 and managed by Whack 100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying? So you never sign, you never get managed, or you don't have a management company owned by the people that also sign you. So if I'm supposed to think that JPE is a management company, and I can't really figure out what it is. I do know it's James Prince Entertainment, but it doesn't really say what their role is here. It just says JPE is going to be made party to it, but it's called J Prince Entertainment. The company is MobTies. The company's MobTies. Okay, MobTies LLC. You see it up here. Sorry, MobTies LLC. You see up here, Ties LLC. That's the company. Who owns? Like, we could look this up. Let's look it up. MobTies LLC. Is it that? MobTies Entertainment. Entertainment LLC. We could look up Texas. I'm pretty sure it's going to show something, right? Let's just look up Texas LLC search. We could probably figure it out. Okay, that's the comptroller, entity name, MobTies Entertainment. Okay, cool. We got it. Found it. So this is MobTies. They're a registered company in Texas. Click on them. These are business address, so I'm not whatever, but J Prince Jr. owns it. Okay? So J Prince Jr. owns it. Okay? So when you sign to MobTies, you're signed to J Prince Jr. Okay, bet. So let's go back. Let's figure out what's J Prince Entertainment then. J Prince Entertainment Inc. Right? Here we go. J Prince Entertainment. J Prince Entertainment. Let's put the dot right here. Maybe that's what's missing. Okay, we found it. Oh, they're both in Texas. J Prince Entertainment Inc. When you click on this, you scroll down. Okay, so this is the father. Never mind. So you see the last one says James Prince Jr. This one is the father. So look like the father is managing it. His sons owns it. Yeah, this is a fucked up situation. By the way, J Prince, don't kill me. I'm not trying to fuck up your business. I'm just doing my analyzation shit here, okay? I know y'all probably saying, man, this nigga Hove gets off his finesses. Don't hate on Ash. I'm not hating. I'm just pointing shit out. So essentially, the father has a company. The son has a company. The son is the record label. This might be a management company or some ancillary production company. So essentially what's happening here is that if Finesse2tymes ever made $1 million, 35% goes to the company, which is the son. 350,000 would go to him. And then 300,000 would go to the father. And then 35% will go to the artist. Now, what I think this is, actually, chat, I'm trying to make some sense of this because I don't want y'all to just immediately think these guys are thieves. What I think is that so as a production company, usually production company have funded within to bring you to a certain level that they could go to a label. But I think that JPE is going to either do management stuff. So the father's going to do management stuff and fund somewhat what MobTies is going to want to do with this guy, right? And regardless, it's still 65% to the management company and the production company, and only 35% to the artist, which people aren't going to be too fond of. Let's keep reading about this. Okay, now this is where the important part comes in, and let me help you explain. Music shit. So it says the company is going to pay a royalty rate on the net sales of record derived from masters as follows. So there's two type of deals that are given out in music. One's a royalty rate deal, which means that you're going to get a percentage on sales after recoupment. And we're going to have to talk about recoupment in a second. The other is usually what they call a partnership. And the partnership is usually almost kind of based on the idea that, so the reason why a royalty rate is usually starts at 12% if you're really getting fucked, and the highest they'll usually go is like 18%. So 12 to 18%, right? So 14 to 16, this is kind of in the middle. I'm gonna let you know. So if you're in a royalty rate deal, it's kind of understood that the label is spending all the money, taking all the risk. This is why, if it works, they want to pay you a royalty that is less than 20%. Okay? They've absorbed up a lot of debt. They've absorbed a lot of fees and whatever, and they took a chance and also whatever, blah, 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 and company. It's a lot of things. When you're in what people term as like a partnership, they assume that you're almost invested in yourself as well. So they're like, we're going to, once we recoup our losses, we split everything down the middle, or maybe you have enough leverage that they pay you more, right? Okay, cool. So this is artist equal to 35% of the net royalties, right? Payable to the company, right? Artist equal to 35% of net royalties payable to company. Pursuant to the distribution. What the fuck? but in no event less than the following. Okay. All right. So let me help explain. So even though he signed this deal that, and by the way, because this is a production deal and not a major label deal, some of this stuff is mixed up. So it says, remember the last page said he's supposed to get 35%, right? Down here, 35%. They're also kind of using verbiage that you would see in a major label deal, which is the royalty rate deal. Now, remember, you sign a royalty rate deal when it's kind of understood that we're funding your whole career, we're spending all the money, we're doing whatever, and if it works, this is why you're getting 14% of every dollar made, right? But this is a production deal, and in a production deal, it's like kind of usually this is a directive to say the condition blah blah in terms of advances, right? Let me make sure it's read again. Notwithstanding anything contrary, it could be conditional artist full performance of whatever company's receipts. This is some fuck shit. All right. Every time I'm explaining stuff to you, I'm always thinking that I have so much experience in this. I wonder if I'm talking over your head. So let me dumb it down again. What a production deal says, a production deal with an artist, it's like Generation Now. It's like you a hood nigga and you see a nigga and you give him $20,000 and you have him sign a deal. You're not the fully furnishing label. You're kind of almost like putting in place that, hey, advances aren't fully coming from you and I'm not funding all of this. I'm going to help you produce some records to get to the point that I'm going to get a bigger record deal. So this percentages right here is like, this is Chat Nigga Records, right? So let me make this real simple. Chat Nigga Records. I signed you. This is me. No, this is you. So the first term is we're clarifying once I get you signed and they start cutting advances, like, okay, here's $1 million for the first album. This is how the money's going to get broken down. Money. So if it's $1 million, $350 in terms of an advance is going to go to you. $350 is going to go to the company that helped pay the way for you to get to this point. And in this case, 30% to JPE. Okay? So this is just directives on, all right, if I get you signed through Chat Nigga Records to Atlantic, when Atlantic cuts $1 million and sends to us, you get $350, we get $350, and $300 goes to JPE. Okay? All right, that makes sense. Keep in mind, I'm not a full record label. I'm a production company. Okay? That's the record label over there. But this is how, and by the way, I encourage all hood niggas to do this. If you made some money off drugs, you're trying to clean, this is how P made QC and turned QC into, he sold it for like $300 million. If you a hood nigga and you got like 50 bands or whatever, and not saying money launder, but like you got some money and you see a nigga who got some whatever, have that nigga sign a contract. It's called a production contract. Put 30 grand behind him, right? And hopefully you could get him hot enough that he gets, let's say, $1 million deal. In the deal is going to say, when you sign the deal, I get half. By the way, it's the same thing that happened with Fabio Foreign and Mace. That's why Fabio was mad. Because Mace got half of that. And Fabio was like, yo, you didn't deserve half. You signed the contract. You signed the production deal. It says I get half whenever you get that big check. Okay? It's the same with Uzi. Generation Now gets the same advance that he gets. Okay. So, that's the directive. Now, here's the interesting part. It goes into like almost like having a like explaining that we're signing you for a 5-album production deal. Right? 5 albums. Because y'all see? 5. LP1, LP2, LP3, LP4, and 5. Now let me tell you this. A production deal should not be that long. However, if you're the one giving it out, pause, you do want to sign somebody for that long. Why? That's how you become 1501. So when Meg blows up on her second album or whatever, and she wants to kick you to the curb, you're like, nah, I got 3 more. Same with Post Malone. Remember, I had the manager there. Actually, no, he had a management type deal with him, not production deal. So, all right. So now, they're kind of trying to act like a record label as well. They're saying, okay, because what usually an artist is going to be mad at is, maybe I got to use Microsoft Paint or something to like make it easier. Yeah, let me use Paint. I love making these things like, or try my best to make it like really. And please comment like, yo, we get it, or you're losing us. Like, you know, I feel like I'm teaching a class, and I really like, I like this stuff. Okay. So remember, 35% artists. Sorry. 35%. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. So 35% artists, 35%. Actually, I'm going to do it in a better way. Let's draw circles. Right? And we'll kind of go like this. I don't know. I'm like fucking this up. 1, 2. The lines don't accurately match. Okay. Okay, cool. But we're just gonna put numbers here. So 35% artist. All right. So this is the pie. This is $1 that comes in, or $1 million. It doesn't matter what it is. 35% production company. MobTies. Right? And then JPE, which is the father. Okay? So cool. Let's say, all right, bet JPE put some money behind it, whatever. They get this guy lit. He gets $1 million deal. He gets $350,000. The company keeps $350,000, and JPE gets 30%. Now, he's baked in the entire overall of the contract, which is the father, which is pretty much a loan. He's giving a loan. So whatever money he puts in, he's going to get it over 5 albums back. Right? Cool. Now, usually where artists start beefing with the label, okay, say the production company, right? Put in 200,000. You blow up off of the 200,000. You get $1 million deal. The $1 million come in. You get 350. They get 350. Then JPE gets 300, right? The artist usually starts saying, yo, if y'all got paid back for how much you put into my career, how come every time $1 comes in, I only get 35 cents? So what's happening, and what I'm trying to explain in this next paragraph, is that the production company puts this part in there saying, we're going to pay you a royalty rate. Even though, by the way, Atlantic is paying a royalty rate too. But it's another story. So it basically says, after we've recouped and you start looking at us like, damn, why y'all still getting paid as much as me and I'm the artist? They say, from our 35% after we've been paid off, we're going to give you 12% of that. We could do the quick math here. So let's do 12%. 12% of 35% times 0.35. It's basically 4%. Okay? So essentially they're saying, we'll give you an extra 4%. Okay? And it's to make the artist feel better. Because what happens is artists spend their money mad quick. And usually this pie chart I'm showing, when the million comes in, they spend that already. The production company is going to take this. They're going to collect royalties and collect money over time and cover their debts, and then the artist is broke. So what they do, they kick back a little bit to the artist. Okay, hoping you're getting that. All right. So now we're back on this fucking thing. So cool. So they're saying they'll give 14% of their 35% for LP1 after it's recouped, which is net, right? So not gross, net, which means it's recouped. So 14% of that, 14.5 off LP2, 15 off LP3, and 16 off 4 and 5. Cool. It says JPE. Here's the thing. It says equal to the 30% of the net royalties payable to the company pursuant to the distribution agreement on the top line sales through normal retail channels, but no less than 50% of the balance left. Equal to 30% of that. But no less than 50% of the balance left after payment to artists. That's kind of a... Let me read it one more time. Equal to 30% of the net royalties, right? Okay. But no less than 50% of the balance left after payment to artists per paragraph 5A. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a balance equation. They're making sure that, you know, the artist gets paid, but also, essentially, they're saying they're not going to collect all the money without paying the artist, but the artist can't keep getting all the money without. It's like a balancing equation, if you kind of get what I mean. So we can kind of skip that. But they're getting paid. Notwithstanding anything contrary contained in paragraph 5B of the recording agreement, such paragraph shall be deleted and replaced as follows. Okay, now they put in a whole thing, and it says JPE, a royalty equal to 30%, payable to company for sales. Okay. All right. So it looked like they're saying J Prince is just getting 30%. I think it's management. It gotta be management / like funding. I don't know why. Why the hell are you just paying J Prince 30%? That's extortion tax if I've ever seen one. But fuck it, I like it. Notwithstanding anything contrary to blah blah. Okay, cool. So merchandising is probably gonna be some bullshit. You're hereby to grant them to use exclusive rights to use and authorize your name and approve portraits, pictures, Okay, this is kind of standard, which means that they could put out merchandise for you or whatever. Hold on now. To use with sponsorships, endorsements. Oh, including your personal services in connection with endorsements. Tie-ins, retail, connect, tour, this and third. For the rights granted to you, company in this paragraph, after deducting all costs and any third-party payments relating to whatever, subject to this paragraph, JP will get a royalty of 30% and pay to artists a royalty of 35%. Okay, this is a 360 deal. Sweet. Yes, it's a 360 deal. So I know they say merchandising, but it kind of like brings more than merchandising here. Right? Merchandising fan club. Okay, so basically the merch, they're all gonna split the merch. Now, I want to be fair here. It's not the worst contract ever. And I think people are shocked that this is a contract that rappers have been signing for a long time. And if you ask people like Lyric Cohen, his response to this, because he's the one who coined the 360 deal, is that, well, it's easy to say, yo, why do these guys get all this percentage split? But you don't know all the artists that we've spent $100K, $300K, $1 million on, and they haven't recouped, and we take the loss. And there's some places, like, for example, in my recording contract, like the JV I did, so I did 2 contracts, one for Lil Akin and one for the Academy Records. In the Academy records, it says that technically, if we owe money, they could ask for the money. Now, a label is not going to ask you for money because that's their only worth, right? So they usually just hold you in perpetuity until maybe you get hot on your own and could buy yourself out, or they drop you because at that point, there might be triggers that they have to pay you and they want to cut their losses. But technically, in record deals, it says you owe money. Like it actually does say if you're not recouped, like for example, the City Girls owe QC money, but QC is not going to sue them for the money, if you get what I mean. So record label owners would normally say, when y'all are mad that we're getting percentages when it works, y'all never get mad at when it doesn't work and we are lost or we're out of a lot of money. We're taking the bets. We've lost a lot and nobody feels bad for us. Why do people feel it's unfair that when we do win, we're actually getting paid? So it's not the worst type of contract. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Lil Uzi's contract probably looked like this, honestly. First contract. Who else? Meg Thee Stallion's first contract probably looks like this. Yeah. It's kind of standard. Now, the only part that I see jump off the page, JPE, it jumps off the page. In a production deal, it should be 50-50. Production deal should be 50-50. I don't know why there's a third company in this called JPE. But the father brought in.
So, NBA Youngboy has 12 kids and he has 2 more on the way. I ain't gonna lie, gang. YB, he's making his own team. You feel me? 12 kids, probably like 10 BMs, 11 BMs. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, Malu Trevejo said that she was pregnant at one point. Another girl said that she was pregnant. Like, YB is just putting a baby in all these women, bro. And I will never forget the interview. He said that he doesn't really care about being a father. He just likes to, you feel me? Yeah. But let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Do you think NBA Youngboy will pass 20 kids by the end of 2025? Or will he do it in 2026? Because we know he's about to have like 4 or 5 kids a year minimum. So we will see.